Well, as you can see, I don't mind the shading thing. My light does strange things. Anyway, as you can see that this is all completely gone now. There's some areas that just won't pass tech as far as that goes. But there's no more decal residue or anything like that. That is just below it. That dinger is in the, that is underneath the decal. That's gonna have to be taken care of. And that one's gonna have to be taken care of. And that one's gonna have to be, come on, focus. That one's gonna have to be taken care of. And that one's gonna have to be taken care of. So there's some things that need to be dealt with here. That one too, actually. So there's like 5 spots so far, and as long as I'm there, I may as well get some slobber some stuff over that too. So I got about 5 or 6 spots on the side of this boat that you're gonna have some attention before the next stage can happen here. And so I don't happen to have any mustard, so I'll have to get some of that rushed down here and for the next part of this. I might as well start working on the keel as well, laying up the keel, because it's missing a lot of fiberglass down there. I didn't realize it was that bad until I started probing it. Anyway, that's enough of this for now. I don't know how long this is all getting to be here, but my camera's telling me you got to unload some videos. So I have some older stuff that I'm going to probably release, some stuff I did on my Chris Craft. So, and the trailer build is ongoing too. So that's, I've got footage of that whole thing too. And so I like to complete a project, then release the video, then, or go to a certain stage, then release the video. So I don't know if I'm just going to dump this one off is the way it is, because just because my camera's getting pretty backed up here, so or my cell phone. So anyway, if you're following this, make sure you hit that little like thing. It helps the algorithm carry it on for everybody. And you know, subscribe if you already haven't. I've picked up a lot of subscribers, and I don't know if it's from this boat or the fact I can break a tractor every time I look at it, or just the ranch stuff. You know, I mean, it's a big freaking place. So there's always crap that has to be done. Anyway, enough of this for now. I'll be back later. I'm sure may add to this. I'm not sure. I may just cut loose of it. So we'll see. Like I said, like and subscribe if you want. And I'm not really shocked that the family hasn't even hit the like button, much less the other 300 of you that are watching this. Actually, there's 100 people, I think, that are really, truly watching this. But one of the videos got over 300 or 300 views. So that's kind of cool. I'm sure Tony's loving every minute of it. Anyway, take care all. Well, it's the next day, and this is going to show you. Obviously, I haven't done anything with this guy yet because that's deep, and I've got a plan, and I promise I will show you that when I get to that point. And there's a lot of other little diggers going on down here that we're going to make them go away, or mostly. And then we're going to put some gel coat in them and make them all pretty again. But to get to that point, what I wanted to show here was the fact that, again, this is going back, and I know it looks really bright and really white and everything else, but there's some serious yellowing going on here. And what we're doing is we're taking that shiny skin off this side. Well, it's both sides actually, in the back too. And we're taking that shiny skin off and kind of dulling it out. Now you notice that the real gray in the water here, and that is, and you probably can see it there. I don't know what you can see or can't see, but that is dead gel coat impacted with dirt, okay, that you're sanding off. You can't see it, but when you sand it, when you wet sand it with 800, you can really see it because it comes out. and you got to rinse this several times. And so the next step of all this, after about 3 hours of sanding, two and a half ish, the next step is I'm going to go through a hull brightening process, which I use chemical on it and I brighten it. Pulls all the nastiness out of the gel coat, and it's not going to get it perfect, but we need it as white as we can possibly get it, so that I don't have to do a whole bunch of tinting and weird stuff. And the other side has some gouges that are right in the middle of the decal area, which is going to be problematic. So I'm just going to show you this, and I'll be back. I'm sure I'll be showing a bunch more of this stuff as I go along today in the process here. But to have you guys watch me sand this is, well, I can pretty much think of 1,000 other things that you could do with 20 minutes or 2 hours or whatever. I mean, it's just ridiculous to document that. But documenting the process is my point. This is what you need to do. Cat. Gandalf. You're an idiot. I don't know why my grandkids named that cat Gandalf, or my daughter-in-law, or whatever. He's annoying. Anyway, and him and Mercury do not get along. So the process is going to be going, finish up down this side. I'm almost done with this side, another half an hour, and I'll be, yeah, it takes a half an hour to go about 3 feet if you're going to do it right, and open it up really good. And then again, when you go to buff this back, you're going to go to 1,000 grit, so another 2 hours. Then you're going to go to 1,500 and another 2 hours, and then you're going to be able to start buffing. So it's a long, drawn out, pain in the butt process, but it's the way you got to do it if you're restoring. You know, restoring, and sometimes just resurrecting, because I have a boat that I will have to do this too, and it's a Chrysler Charger boat, and it is blue and it's chalked out, and I got to take 400 to that. Again, the back and the transom is going to be the same way. We're going to try to make sure we don't get any water in this transom. Not like it's going to make a difference, because I can pick wood out of this thing everywhere. The more it gets dried out, the more it falls apart. So yeah, let's see if I can. That used to be plywood? Really? Huh. Oh, the wind blew it away. And it's been so windy, I can't set up a camera either. It's just crazy. Now this side, again, we got these really bad spots here and here, and there's not much I can do with that. I have to fill them because the damn decal goes there. And if I didn't do that, and you put a decal over this void, it is going to be an air bubble, and my vinyl guy is going to hurt me really, really bad when it comes back and that decal broke off there. This would be a year later. I mean, they'll bridge it for now, but it'll look like crap, and he's a perfectionist like me. So, but there's just a bunch of them, okay? There's just too many, and thank God the decal took most of the impacts on most of this. But just to give you some idea, this is very smooth now, and it looks really as good as it's going to. I see I missed a spot there. There's some residue there and there, so I'll be going after that shortly, because I have to rip down this side with 800 again and do the full thing. Here's the shiny part of the boat, and this is after it's sanded. You see how much whiter it is once it's opened up and you get that dead stuff off? It gets a lot whiter. This right here versus this here is, I don't know if you guys can see through the camera, and I can't see through what I'm even filming. Is my hand there? Yeah. Because of the sunlight. Anyway, this is literally 2 different colors from here to here. So, and I've had a lot of guys go and sand part of their boats and not sand the rest and buff them out, and man, do they look like crap. So that's all I really wanted to document here, and I gotta get out of the sunlight so I can see what I'm doing. Plus my glasses are just absolutely splattered with sanding compounds. See, Mercury. Gandalf. Mercury not happy. If I put Gandalf within 3 feet of her, she will have a cow. Okay, enough kitty time. I'll be back. So another couple of points of interest on things. For one, I hope you can see how nasty and dirty and ew the back is here. That's all dead stuff, and everything that was below the drain plug is gone, and that plug is gone, and it's cleaned up as good as it needs to be, because there's going to be a whole lot of work going on back here. So the sides came out really well. A lot of dirt, I did get rid of a lot of gouges, like trailer gouges and things. But what I wanted to talk about was something I didn't say before. Yeah, this is just, I can't wait to wash this. That's the next step, is acid wash. But I wanted to talk about, when you do this, there's a tech tip time, is only wet down. I use a squirt bottle wherever I left it, and I only wet down about a 2-foot area. And got some guys use a garden hose and all that. I think that's just too much. And you want to, so you're going to wet down this whole thing, like this corner, and you're going to start from the bottom when you're standing and work your way up, because water flows downhill, and it will help absorb the sandpaper as you're working your way up. Go back and forth, only take on about a 2-foot section at a time, and then move on, and don't forget to sand over the area that you already sanded. You want uniformity when you're all said and done, just like you're painting it, really. Just a little tech tip there. That's all I really wanted to mention, and I'm going to move on to the next step here. Man, it is so windy outside. Oh my God. Anyway, I'll be back. So for this process, I actually put on a coat of a gel product I use. It's a lot thicker, and it sticks really good. And then I rinse it with an acid after that, and then I rinse it with water. I don't know if you can see the difference in the light. It's all bright, but just in the transom area, it's just a monstrous difference in how it bleached it. Then that's what we're shooting for. We're shooting to bleach the hull back white again, so when we put our gel coat repairs in place, that we don't have to tint. Like when we do these boo-boos, this guy right here where my fingernail is, when we do that one, we do this one, okay, and the ones up in the bow where they took the impact up there. I think there's another one right here. There's a big old nasty dude right here. I'm going to do these just because I'm there, and they're pretty deep, but I'm just going to fill them too. Now when I fill these, I'll show you guys that, but when I fill these, I'm going to take and dab these in and fill them, or it's going to be kind of a putty type deal with a body plastic spreader, and then I'm going to fill those, and I'll be blocking those off with 400 grit, and then 400, 800, 1000. I may even go, depending on how it goes, I may even just jump over 1000 and go straight to 1500. Most of this haul, I think I'm going to be doing, at this point, I'm going to go to 1500. Okay, so the next part of this is just rinse everything off really good. So we're going to rinse this down, and you can kind of see, it's hard to see before and after with white, because in the camera, white looks white. But this is a huge difference. Now, and like I said, I'm not concerned about any of this getting wet up in here. I don't care, because it's all leaving, and there's the hole here. Here's something dumb that I absolutely deplore, is when manufacturers would put these drain back holes in here, they would put them up so freaking high that you ended up with a whole puddle of stuff. Now I'm thinking about going to a 2-inch PVC, and this will be the upper part of this, but a lot of the offshore guys run the 2-inch PVC, so I will literally be boring this out quite a bit larger. So this is, If you get that much water sitting in this hole, that's all you're going to get. I really don't want to go right down to the nitty-gritty because it gets into that radius here, and that is anytime you got a radius, I don't care if it's in sheet metal or fiberglass, it's a strength point. So just pointing that out. We'll get to that. We're a ways away. So I'm going to be doing the sides next. And basically what I do is I wash all this ick off the side from all the sanding. I'll wash all this stuff off first. So I'm actually wetting this down. I did not sand this area here, this lip. I did not sand that because I will be able to probably bleach that good enough. There's a couple of ding-dongs going on here too. As you can see, I'll try. I'm sure I'll fix them because that's just kind of the guy I am. I just keep fixing stuff. So somebody says, stop! Now, remember that old saying, don't piss into the wind? Well, I'm pressure washing, and look where the wind's blowing. Yeah. So I might turn this around to the other side, or I'll just quit with the filming and then do the other side or whatever. I can get this quick. So I don't care about the top at all, because that's gonna undergo a miraculous change. But I don't know if camera's gonna pick this up, but taking all this dead stuff off, I don't know if you can see that. Well, I don't know, like that stuff right there. Okay, it's pretty much gone. But when I bleach it, it's going to turn a lot whiter. I mean, wow. But I want to get all this dead stuff off from the sanding process first before I bleach it. Now, there's another thing I'm going to point out here, another tech tip thing, is let's say you weren't going to put this decal back on here. I don't know if you can even see that very well. It's not as bad, but you can tell that there was a decal there. Or if you have license in the front and you've got a really white shiny spot and so on there. Well, if you don't wet sand that really good and bleach it, you're never going to get rid of that, and you're going to have a spot where a decal used to be, and it's going to show up. This one's getting the identical decal put right back on it. We spared no expense on having a guy custom make it with a pearlescence color and black, and it's very cool. I've seen it. It's been done waiting for this boat for 2 years to get in this shop. So yeah, there's a 2-year waiting list, and by the time I finish what I've got, I'm going to be fully retired. So I probably won't take on any more customer boats. I've got one guy that said he's going to keep me restoring boats until I'm not breathing. That's crazy. But so far he hasn't lied. He keeps buying more stuff. I just got wind that he's actually going to be buying more things. Here's this crazy thing about buying boat motors from me for his collection at Christmas Eve. I love him, man. He's too cool. So, Christmas presents from Santa. Money. Okay. And presents to him. But then they all sit here until they get restored. And he wants me to ship a motor all the way to Arizona. I wonder what that's going to look like when it gets there. Anyway, enough about this. I'm going to move on. I'm going to finish this, pressure washing this, and start bleaching this side. And then I'll bring you guys back to see the bleaching process. Well, my camera was freaking out there for a minute. It wouldn't work. Okay, so here's, you've seen the gel's applied, and I'm taking that's the gel. Give you an idea what that looks like. It's just really foamy and thick, and the idea is to use a different product just to keep it wet. Okay, we're just going to keep it wet. And so you don't end up with streaking, because you can get that. And that, I've had streaking on aluminum boats before, and wow, it's so hard to get that out. And I really have some excellent chemicals for doing aluminum too. They're custom made for the shop, so kind of a proprietary thing. But if you have an aluminum boat and you want it stripped, definitely I'm your guy. So this is basically, as you can see, this is all biodegradable stuff anyway, so it's not like I'm polluting the earth either. So the next step is I'm going to rinse all this off, and you can see it all foaming up on there, and it's doing its thing. Then I'm going to do the bottom of the hull as well, that back as far as that bunk, and I'm going to clean all that really good too. There's a lot of work going to be going on there, so I just don't want to get too crazy, because there's going to be gel coat work and fiberglass work and the keel, and so there's really no point to wasting customers' time with anything extra there. And I did see a few spots that I missed on my sanding, and I'll have to touch that up later. But that's, again, immaterial in comparison to what we need to get accomplished today. This will all get done. Then this thing's got to sit and dry real well, and I'm going to move on to something else. Well, so we're at the end of this segment, right? Meathead. He rolls on the ground and thinks you should rub his belly. No, don't have time. I see a couple flaws that I missed, like right there. It looks like a roller mark or something, so I'll get that sanded off. But as you can see, there's a lot of dock rash. I don't know if to get the camera to focus. Then yeah, there's dock rash and dingers everywhere, and I mean they're down the side, and I need to put a license in here somewhere, and so I'm not too sure how much of this is going to have to be fixed to get the license. I'll move it forward probably up to here where it ends, but it's going to have to go right through here. So there's going to be repairs that are going to have to be needed. And yes, even after acid treatment, and you can clearly see where the scratches are, see how much whiter they are. Well, so I'll have to custom match this gel coat repair so it matches it. So that part really sucks like a lot. There's a couple different colors you can add. One is mustard, which kind of makes it an off-white, and that's what we got going on here. We got an off-white situation. You can actually, maybe you guys can see where the decal was, you know, where the strobe decal was, and but it cleaned it up really good. I'm happy with the transom. That came out really nice. I won't have to do anything with that other than I'm going to fix these holes different. I mean, the quick fix with Duraglass in the holes was just we were going to slap a motor on it and go until we learned about that. And that kind of sent us down a rabbit hole. So, overall, it came out really well. I'm really pleased with this part of it. The next part of it is I'm going to start doing the repairs, like this guy here. This needs to dry out because everything got really wet. But I'm going to start doing the deep repairs and probably put it back in the hoist sling and do the keel repair and at least get the glass work done there. I like to keep these together. I don't like to split these until this is done. And when this is done, then I don't mind taking this off. But if you're working on this and they get floppy. They just do. They need each other. It's like a husband and wife thing. Yeah, well, that's codependency, but that's a whole different thing. Anyway, so there's the walk around, guys, and this is the end of this segment. And stay tuned. Like and subscribe. There's going to be a lot of changes and a lot more stuff going on. Spoiler alert, we're going to be starting to work on engines.